Welcome to the Franchising 360 Show, the only show that takes you inside the world of franchising, with hosts Tim Parmeter and Danielle Wright.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Franchising 360 Show. I am Tim Parmeter. Alongside me, as always, is Danielle Wright.
That's me.
Here on the Franchising 360 Show, we take a 360-degree view of the franchising industry. We're going to give you some insights into what you need to think about to determine if you should own a franchise. If so, what's the absolute best one for you? How to succeed even greater as a franchise owner, and maybe even taking your existing business and turning it into a franchise. Guess what? Every franchise started that way. And we've got one of our franchise partners coming in to talk to us today. And my mouth is watering a little bit on this one.
Really? Should we call a plumber? I feel like that's...
I don't think so.
Maybe a dentist? There are dentists that are franchises.
There's pretty much everything that's
a franchise.
But This one is, and I think it's going to feed into our
pun intended.
Our fun facts. I'll be here all week. But I'm looking forward to this because we are fans as a consumer as well. So kind of like fangirling customers on this one. Kinda.
But Again, yes, the Friday Fun franchise fact is going to tie to it because why wouldn't it?
Right.
I'm on a roll, might as well. But it's a different type of franchise concept that I don't think we've referenced to a lot, but we've never actually had one here. And kind of what I think we're going to love about this is what they're trying to do and who they are. That kind of makes them stand out and be a little different. So
we talk, probably from episode 1 of this crazy thing is, like franchising, it's not just food. It's not just these big things that we know about, but it is also those things, right? And so that kind of drives us into the franchise fun fact.
And just so we all know, there were a lot of fun facts. He does not remember all of them, but now we got to choose. There are 6 options.
Oh my goodness!
Which fact do we want?
I'm going to go with option 3.
Okay, it's not a fun fact, but it's a quiz. Are you ready?
Yes.
Name the biggest pizza franchise operators. Go.
Like pizza franchise?
Mm-hmm.
Pizza Hut.
Keep going.
Domino's.
Yep. Keep going.
Papa John's.
Yep. Keep going.
Little Caesars.
Yep. Keep going.
I'm tapping out.
Marco's.
Oh, Marco's is number 5. Okay.
Jet
Pizza.
and Hungry Howie's.
Okay.
And did you know, it's not a fun fact, well maybe it is, that the top 10 brands in pizza control 60% of the pizza locations across the U.S.
Oh my gosh. So if you're eating pizza, there's a distinct possibility
it's one of those.
One of those.
Correct.
10.
You want to know another fun fact about all of that? That pizza generates $46 to $50 billion annually worldwide.
So what you're saying is we eat some pizza.
There is money to be had in pizza.
Yes. So if you think, well, geez, what about the competition with all 10 of those?
What about food? Food's so expensive.
Guess what? We're all going to eat. And for the most part, we all enjoy some pizza.
And honestly, when you order pizza, do you just order one?
Well, sometimes, but regardless, you're going to be happy.
I feel like our producer, Ryan, we could ask him. He probably orders 3.
Probably does.
Because everybody wants something different.
Yes.
Okay,
we got to share with everybody.
That's our fun fact.
All right, guess what? Our guest is from a pizza franchise. One of those we just talked about. Which one? You're going to have to stick around after this break to find out here on the Franchising 360 Show. All right, we are back on the Franchising 360 Show. Tim Parmeter with Danielle Wright. And joining us today is the Chief Development Officer for Marco's Pizza, Mr. Gerardo Flores. Gerardo, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We are glad you're here. Kind of thought maybe you were going to have one of your local owners send some pizza over for us to sample during the show, but maybe they're on their way, so it's okay.
That was the plan back in February, unfortunately. We all got snowed out.
That is true. This is a redo from the 3 inches of snow that hit Fort Worth back then and shut everybody down. But we greatly appreciate you doing this again and coming on to talk to us. And got a lot of questions about franchising and Marco's, but give us a little bit of your scoop and how you got into all of this.
Wonderful. Yes. So I've been in development over 20 years, 25 years. It's been a wonderful ride. I absolutely love franchising. I've done everything from franchise sales to real estate to construction. I worked with some wonderful brands, Tropical Smoothie, Quiznos, Cold Stone Creamery. I really cut my teeth on the growth of development at Jersey Mike's. I spent almost 10 years there, really helping that brand grow. I started at 400 stores and I left a little over 2,000 stores. So that is my success story. That's really where I really fell in love with franchising.
Love it. And then Marco's now. What were some of the things that kind of drew you to Marco's?
It was an emerging brand. We were in a position really to take what most people consider a local brand and really grow it nationally. So, the majority of our stores are on the East Coast. I live on the West Coast. So I took the opportunity to really expand our brand west of the Mississippi. So it was just a great opportunity for me to really had a strong team that was able to take what a lot of people feel is a regional Midwest brand and really grow it not only nationally but internationally too, because we've signed a few international deals as I've come on board here. So again, just we're at that prime where the company's just ready to take that next step into the 2,000 and 3,000 store level.
Awesome. I love Marco's. Our family is a Marco's. My son loves the cheese bread. And that's a totally different story for another day. But two-part question. One, as you guys are considering this growth, who are you looking for? What kind of owner would you want to see come into the Marco's system? We've had some previous conversations about multi-unit, multi-brand, multi-unit owners continuing to grow within your Marco's system and continue to grow that perspective. What kind of owners are you guys looking for to kind of help the growth trajectory you're seeing?
Well, you hit it right on the head. We're certainly attracting mumbos, like you said, multi-unit, multi-brand owners out there. We have plenty of those in the system right now. But the industry is in reality it's a small industry. A lot of people know each other. So when we find those mumbos that don't have pizza in their portfolio, this is a perfect opportunity to really drive the fifth largest pizza brand into their portfolio. There's a lot of white space, a lot of growth opportunities for us. So when we're driving home the message that pizza is missing their portfolio, we're driving home the Marco's message.
I mean, I love pizza. Funny enough, I started in restaurants with a fast food burger chain. And doing some research before we came on here, I learned that pizza is the largest food segment in franchising. So what makes Marco's different than some of the, let's just say, seasoned brands in pizza?
Yeah, the big guys, right? Our differentiator is really the freshness of our product. We make our dough fresh in-house every day. We have real cheese. We use real proteins. Nothing is frozen. So it's a situation where we're at a crossroads of the way we describe it. Quality, convenience, and consistency is what we're delivering to our from our franchisees to our customers. So really, it's a product that once you taste it, you'll never forget it because it's really that good.
It is that good. We may have to order some tomorrow night, right? So
I will take care of you. I make that promise to you.
Hey, we went to lunch wanting pizza, and somehow we didn't get a pizza. So this is something that's definitely on the menu.
Tomorrow night there is a Marco's pizza in our future. For sure. Wonderful. So you've got owners that are coming in. Maybe they've got some restaurant experience, but I'm guessing probably a good chunk of them don't. What's that learning curve for somebody coming in as an owner? Maybe it feels a little intimidating to them. How do you guys help them overcome that?
I'll actually take a step back, because when I interview and approve all candidates that come in, I'm not always looking for food experience. We have a pretty robust training program. We put them through the gauntlet. It's about 10 weeks of training that we put them through, both virtual, in store, and at the corporate office. But I'm looking for a few unique qualities. One of them being personality. Pizza should be fun. My team tells me that all the time when I'm a bit stressed out. They tell me pizza is fun. Make it fun. So when I'm really interviewing candidates, I'm looking at the personality to see how that fits within the store. What kind of culture they're going to drive within the store, and if that aligns with the company's culture moving forward.
I think everybody we've talked to over the last probably several weeks, if not a couple months, on this show has said the C word, culture. Right. Culture. And so, it gets bounced around a lot, but it is true and it is real. How would you describe Marco's culture?
We are a franchisee forward company. We really concentrate on our franchisees, not only their business, but their well-being, of course. We have many internal programs that really help our franchisees. We're constantly training them. We're really trying to stay in front of our franchisees to make sure that they are, again, not just operationally sound, but from a personal perspective, that they are really taking care of their employees, I should say, because if we're taking care of our franchisees, they're taking care of their frontline workers. So it really very much is a franchise forward, family oriented company by far.
I've long somewhere we have crossed paths, I am sure. And I have a colleague that was my mentor that had worked briefly with Marco's probably 2014, 15, 16. And that was the one thing that he had said that he loved so much about your brand, is just how everybody was so happy to be a part of it. Like, it wasn't just making pizza. So with that being said, where Marco's was and where they are today, what are you guys looking to do better in the future that you may not be hitting on now for franchise owners?
We like every franchise concept, we have some underperforming franchisees out there. So our goal this year is we're concentrating on what we call the 125. Is we've identified certain franchise owners that need a little extra help, a little extra boost. So we're investing in those franchisees to really help get them going and get them moving forward. So, we're not just investing our time, we're investing money into them as well to make sure that they are successful franchisees. Sometimes they just need a little push, a little assistance, a little bit more face time from us. So I myself, as well as Tony Labardi and John Myers. Tony is our CEO, John Myers our COO. We make it a point to go out and see our franchisees in person. As a matter of fact, Tony and John are touring the East Coast. I'll be touring the West Coast here in the next few weeks. So it's not just sitting behind a desk, sitting behind a Zoom. We're getting out into the field and meeting our franchisees face to face and asking them the question, what can we do better on our end to help you really excel at your business?
Which explains part of what you're talking about from a culture versus going, hey, you need to do better. Like, how can we help you? Because everybody's timeline and development is different. Not everybody gets off to a super fast start. And so, Gerardo, we've got a bunch more questions we want to ask. We're going to take a quick break right here. And then we'll be back with Gerardo Flores from Marco's Pizza here on the Franchising 360 Show. All right, we are back on the Franchising 360 Show. Tim Parmeter with Danielle Wright. And if you're not hungry, you're about to be as we continue to talk about Marco's Pizza with Gerardo Flores. Gerardo, with all the different, we talk about culture, right? It seems like it keeps coming up over and over, and how unique and kind of happy the culture is there. Talk about some of the other things from a support standpoint that you guys are doing to help owners, and like, probably could ask about any specifics, but what's something you think, well, we're doing a great job of assisting our owners with this?
The one thing that really comes to mind is our local store marketing tactics. We have a local store marketing handbook, if you will. And when we open up a store, we send out a local store marketing team to really help them. We usually get them out a few days before we open, and we continue targeting after that. We have a really, really stellar mapping team. I only say that because they sit on my team, so a little bit of plug for my mapping team. But they are absolutely amazing. They will help identify businesses in the area. They'll help identify schools. Any area where we can do local store marketing, and then our folks on the ground will get out there and we'll hand out either gift cards or we'll actually take pizza to them. We use it as a training session as we're rolling up to opening. So we'll take pizza to these local businesses, the high schools. We'll do fundraisers. We'll do what we can to really drive awareness for our franchisees. I have a thought in mind. I'd love to do some sort of food truck out there to really drive awareness before the store opens and just call it pop-up. Call it a pop-up business somewhere and really start thinking outside the box on how we can drive awareness before that store opens and give them a huge grand opening that is just going to elevate them as they move forward.
And I love this because we were all just recently at the International Franchise Association convention, and there's a big push with them about local, right? How franchises are really local small businesses. So kudos for you guys for helping franchise owners understand, like, yes, you could sell a lot of pizzas, but if you're not in the community impacting them, you're kind of missing the mark of being that local supported business. So kudos to you guys. And before we went to break, you had talked about going and visiting locations. Like that's something that I don't see a lot of franchises doing as much in this post-COVID era. Like, and I'm all about let's get out. So how many locations are you looking to go visit in the coming year?
So we'll go into a full DMA. We'll go out and visit as many stores as we can during the day, and then we'll invite our franchisees, those that can attend, to an evening dinner. Nothing spectacular, just getting together and breaking bread and
not having
not
pizza.
Talking about business, but really get to know our franchisees. Yeah.
Does that dinner include Marco's Pizza?
It doesn't always include Marco's Pizza. No.
I would assume they're like, no, we'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, can we have a steak? I mean, yeah.
What's the reception like from your owners? I mean, they're in it, they're running the business, and then now here comes somebody from kind of the corporate location that could be, like, oh, just leave me alone. But it sounds like it really is almost like family coming to town with this.
It is, I love being out on the road. I've been in development, as I mentioned, 25 years, and I spend anywhere between 30 to 40 weeks on the road. The fact of the matter is that when we let them know that we're coming, they're excited to see us. They're really just open arms and coming in, and I'm not going in as a development person. I'm not going in to sell them a franchise. I'm not going in to point out what's wrong. I'm going in just to really establish relationships with our franchisees. We're not a hammer and nail approach type of company. It's never worked. It's never going to work. We have a tendency to just have conversations with our franchisees, and then, like I said, at the end of the day in the evening, bring them in for a quick dinner and just say thank you for everything you do.
I love that. So my question is going to kind of be a little on the other side of this, right? So there's a lot of upheaval, one would say, at the world at large, and real estate's hard to find these days. There's cost of all the different products that you need to make a pizza. What are you guys doing to kind of get ahead of any of those changes economically or resources that are available? I'm big in real estate because a lot of the brands I work with take a lot of real estate square footage. You guys are a pretty much smaller concept, but are you seeing anything in either of those categories that people should be aware of before they start their journey into exploration of Marco's?
Yeah, you're dead on, Danielle. Right now it's a tight market. Cushman & Wakefield puts out a quarterly report on the real estate market. And there was a little bit of hope for me at the beginning of last year where net absorption really started benefiting the tenant. Unfortunately, at the end of the year, that reversed itself. So it's still a very, very tight market for us. One of the things that I implemented when I first got here is a lot of people just didn't know about Marco's, and I don't mean that from a customer standpoint. I mean that from a business standpoint. A lot of landlords and developers didn't know who we are. So I launched a development brand awareness program where we really started getting out in front of landlords and developers, brokers, and so on and so forth. We started serving pizza at ICSC at Recon because, a lot of folks didn't know who we are, and certainly a lot of folks didn't taste our pizza. So I really started pushing forward the Marco's brand from a development standpoint and getting that in front of these folks so they understand who we are. So when they do have a vacancy and they need a pizza, someone to backfill a pizza location, they'll call Marco's first.
Oh, awesome. Good plan.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
And the more tenant improvements you give us, the more free pizza we give you, right? So it should be able to go.
Listen, I'll give you pizza for a year.
Yeah.
Give me some tenant improvements.
Oh my God. As you talk to potential franchise owners, what's maybe a common kind of concern, like, man, we love everything, but this is something that kind of scares me about potentially becoming an owner? Is there any kind of consistent thing or things you hear there?
The biggest thing is macro, the uncertainty around the environment, the economy. My apologies. The uncertainties around the economy right now. There's a lot of folks that are just sitting on the sidelines and waiting. But this is really the prime opportunity to jump in and own your own business. So the other thing is I ask a question. I ask one question to every single candidate. And it's the very first question I ask is, who's going to be that franchisee that's going to be there on a Thursday night or Friday night or Saturday night? Because that's what I call our Super Bowl nights. If I get an answer other than it's going to be me, then it's probably not the right business for you. So if that scares them off, maybe that's both our benefits at this point. Because again, if you're not going to be in your stores during the prime hours, and you're going to hand it over to someone else, it's probably not a good fit for you. So that scares them off sometimes when I ask that question.
Yeah, because I think people think restaurant, like, I'm going to go put a manager in, put a staff in, I'm never going to touch it, and then I'm going to, make my profit outside of pizza. So it goes back to that.
I get my dividends every month.
Right. Here it is. But I think there's this shift, and maybe you agree that franchising is finding it's okay to say, I want someone operating the business. There was like a window of time where, hey, it can be semi-absentee, it can be passive, so forth, so on. But I'm finding that more franchisors like yourself are sticking to the fact of, like, I'm not asking you to work 80 hours a week, but I am asking you to be the face of your business. And I think you guys are speaking to the fact that that's what you're looking for. And that's a positive thing, I think, in my head. You have to own your business. You have to be, as we call it, the mayor of your mile. You cannot delegate that to someone else. It's got to be you as a business owner. When a complaint comes in, we have a standard policy. The owner has to respond to that complaint. Not the frontline worker or even the general manager. It needs to come from the owner so we can have some ownership there. I love that. So
if we want to get a hold of an owner, we just make a complaint, then we know we get a chance to talk to the owner. So
please don't do that.
But again, I really am fascinated by all of this and kind of what you guys are doing and from a growth perspective. And again, I can't thank you enough for coming on and just. So for everybody that's watching, even if, like, hey, I don't know if I want to own a Marco's, go order a Marco's because it's fantastic food and you will definitely go back. But Gerardo, we thank you so much for coming on today and talking to us a little bit about Marco's Pizza.
Wonderful. I appreciate your time. Thank you both. This was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Now let's go eat some pizza.
Yes.
There you go. It's coming your way.
Thanks. Coming your way. And after this break, it might be a commercial for Marco's Pizza. We don't know, but thanks so much for tuning in to the Franchising 360 show.
Perfect. Thank you both.
Thanks again for watching the Franchising 360 show, brought to you by Fran Coach. Danielle and I hope these episodes continue to educate you on the franchise industry. In between our episodes, if you would like to learn more about franchising and the ways in which Fran Coach can help, there are a few places you should check out. First, be sure to listen to the award-winning Franchising 101 podcast. You can find this on Spotify or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Next, check out the Fran Coach YouTube channel, Fran Coach for You. You can catch past episodes of the Franchising 360 show, plus tons of other content. If you like to read, we encourage you to check out the book, Becoming a Franchise Owner. And finally, when you are ready to take that first personalized step and explore franchise industry further, please reach out to our amazing team at FranCoach. There is never any fee for our service, so let us help you create your better tomorrow. Until next week, for Danielle Wright, I'm Tim Parmeter. Thanks for tuning in to the Franchising 360 Show.